we all have different kind of metaphors for the way that we get into it, but the approach is the same in that this is the same person. We're just exploring different parts of that same person. So, and it's really kind of relatable, right? Like in real life, we are different in different environments. And so the metaphor I like to use is that each parts of Helly/Helena sound like different music in my head. The same musician, but maybe different albums or sides of an album.
I think, I can relate it to acting sometimes. You're doing a part and you're trying to move all your personal life out of the way and concentrate on this imaginary world and get in touch with your sort of the child part of you, that can imagine things even if you've done all this research or whatever, and you're still going to play, with your playmates. So I think it's the same character, but one is in a state more of an earlier state that would having certain things bleed through, like vocabulary and sort of the posture of the person. And then on the outside, they have all their history and their baggage is there, and so they're surrounded by that. But I think the metaphor in the show is something that we all do, in maybe not to extremity, but we all do that in somewhat. And the dynamics of the group obviously is a group dynamic like you would have in a classroom or on a team or in an office. And so, everyone, even in a family, you play a role. There's the responsible sister or brother. There's the irresponsible. There's the funny one. There's the one who just disappears. So there's a lot. I think Dan was on to something, when he wrote it, and Ben helped, bring that to fruition.
I've always said I like to think of my innie as a squid and my outie as an octopus. But I've always said it in my head. I just haven't shared it out loud.
Squid, really? Octopus.
Yeah, from a distance, they're similar.
Yeah.
And as you get closer, you start to see that they're a little different. But then as you get closer, they're actually the same. A little of both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We certainly know some things, and some things. Sometimes I'll watch the show and go, "Oh, I didn't even know that was what we were doing." And so it's it's a little of both for me.
Chris has asked me at times, like, "What the hell's going on here?" And I just go, "Listen, we're into each other. You just say your lines to me, and I'll say my lines to you." And sometimes he gets confused with the whole thing, but I think it's weird to start talking about like what you're thinking. I'd rather just receive it from Britt and let her just lay it on me, and then I have to respond to the same thing with Zach or anyone else. You don't want to get into their mystery.
Well, it keeps us in the present moment.
Yeah.
If we're all kind of on this journey together, and our job as actors is to show up, to be present from the perspective of our characters, and that requires being present to the confusion too.